Here is a number that should stop you cold. Within the first 6 months of entering a traditional nursing home, nearly 23% of residents will die. Not after years. Not after decades. Within months. This isn't a rumor, this isn't fear-mongering. This comes from large-scale studies following tens of thousands of older adults across the United States. One major analysis published in the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society found that mortality rates spike dramatically after institutionalization, up to 40% higher compared to seniors who remain in their own communities. And before you say, well, they were already sick, pause. Because death is only the final outcome. The damage begins much earlier. Rates of depression inside nursing homes approach 50% according to data compiled by the National Institutes of Health. Loneliness becomes routine. Autonomy fades. Daily decisions, when to eat, when to sleep, when to go outside, are quietly taken away. These places are meant to protect our elders. But for many, they accelerate decline. And here's the part no one explains clearly enough. It doesn't have to be this way. There are alternatives, real, science-backed alternatives, that protect health without sacrificing dignity, independence, or purpose. Options the healthcare system rarely promotes because they don't fit the institutional model. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 powerful alternatives to traditional nursing homes, ranked from helpful to potentially life-changing. And when we reach number 1, you'll discover a model so effective that researchers initially questioned their own data. Before we begin, let me ask you something important. How old are you, and where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. We read and reply to every single one. Now let's begin. Number 7, adult daycare programs. Let's start with an option many families overlook completely. Adult day care centers provide structured daytime support while allowing seniors to return home every evening. Think of it as a bridge between full independence and full-time care. These programs typically operate weekdays, offering supervised social interaction, gentle exercise, group meals, cognitive stimulation, health monitoring. A study from the University of California found that older adults attending adult day programs experienced a 37% reduction in behavioral symptoms, particularly among those with early dementia. Researchers at Johns Hopkins discovered something equally important. Depression rates dropped by nearly 40% compared to seniors staying home alone. Why? Because humans decline faster in isolation. Social contact is not optional, it's biological medicine. Cost matters too. Adult day programs average $70.80 per day, compared to $250 plus daily for nursing home care. The limitation. Evenings and nights still require support. Which brings us to number 6. Number 6, in-home care services. Aging in place is not just about comfort. It is about survival. The AARP reports that 9 out of 10 adults over 65 want to remain in their own homes as they age. But this preference is not emotional, it is biological. Science supports it. A comprehensive review from Harvard Medical School found that older adults receiving in-home care maintained their physical function 23% longer than those placed in institutional settings. Hospitalizations dropped, medication adherence improved, stress markers declined measurably. Why does this happen? Because the brain thrives on familiarity. When you stay in your own home, your mind does not waste energy relearning layouts, routines, or faces. That cognitive energy is preserved for balance, memory, and healing. Familiar surroundings lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone that accelerates muscle loss, immune decline, and cognitive deterioration. In-home care can be tailored to nearly any level of need. For some, it means just a few hours of help each week with meals, bathing, or housekeeping. For others, it becomes round-the-clock support that replaces institutional care entirely. Professional caregivers assist with daily activities, medication reminders, mobility, and companionship, while allowing seniors to maintain control over their schedules, meals, and daily choices. Costs vary by region but typically range from $25 to $30 per hour. Importantly, many families don't realize that Medicare, Medicaid, and long-term care insurance often cover portions of in-home services when prescribed or properly documented. This option preserves something no institution can fully replace: dignity. But what happens when families want to stay close without sharing the same living space? That question leads us directly to a powerful housing alternative. Number 5. Accessory dwelling units, ADUs. Also known as granny flats. These are small, independent living spaces built on the same property as family. A converted garage, a backyard cottage, a basement apartment. Close but separate. Research from the Gerontological Society of America found that seniors living near family with independent space reported 68% higher life satisfaction than those in institutions. They received help without feeling like a burden. Construction costs range from $60,000 to $300,000, depending on design. That sounds expensive until you compare it to $80,000 per year for nursing home care. Many families recover costs within 3 to 4 years. And there's something else researchers don't measure easily. Grandparents see grandchildren. Meals are shared. Emergencies don't wait for staff response times. Which leads us to an option built on companionship itself. Number 4. Home sharing programs. Imagine this: an older adult living alone in a home that feels too quiet. Meanwhile, a younger professional can't afford rent. Home sharing programs match them. Reduced rent in exchange for companionship or light assistance. The Stanford Center on Longevity found that seniors in shared housing experienced 47% slower cognitive decline compared to those living alone. Not because of medicine, because conversation stimulates the brain. Formal programs screen participants, conduct background checks, and set written agreements. Savings average $12,000 per year. It's not for everyone, but for the right person, it restores daily human connection. Now let's move into professional community models. Number 3. Continuing Care Retirement Communities, CCRCs. Continuing care retirement communities offer something traditional nursing homes cannot provide: continuity. Instead of being forced to move during moments of crisis, residents have access to independent living, assisted living, and skilled nursing care, all on one campus. Care evolves as needs change without uprooting lives or breaking social bonds. That stability matters more than most people realize. A long-term study published in the Journal of Housing for the Elderly found that residents of CCRCs lived an average of 4 years longer than peers who entered standard nursing homes. Why does this happen? First, preventive care. Health issues are identified early before they become emergencies. Second, stable social networks. Familiar faces and daily routines remain intact even as physical abilities decline. Third, reduced relocation stress. Each forced move increases confusion, anxiety, and medical risk, especially for older adults. CCRCs eliminate that disruption entirely. Life in a CCRC often begins with full independence: private apartments or cottages, personal schedules, and access to amenities like fitness centers, dining rooms, and activity programs. When additional help is needed, care adjusts seamlessly. These communities are not inexpensive. Many require significant entrance fees and monthly costs. But for families who can plan early, CCRCs replace uncertainty with structure and chaos with continuity. Still, there is another model that doesn't just manage aging. It reimagines it entirely. Number 2. The greenhouse model. Traditional nursing homes feel like hospitals. Greenhouse homes feel like homes. Small residences with 10-12 residents, private rooms, shared kitchens, and consistent caregivers. No long hallways. No call-like chaos. No rotating staff. A study funded by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation found 50% fewer hospitalizations, 96% fewer pressure ulcers, significantly lower depression rates. Families report something striking. They smell food cooking, not disinfectant. Costs are similar to nursing homes, coverage is the same. The problem: availability. There are only a few hundred nationwide. Which brings us to the most powerful alternative of all. Number 1, the village model. This may be the future of aging. Villages are member-run communities that allow older adults to age in place together. Transportation, home repairs, social programs, exercise classes, medical appointment coordination. Annual dues average $400–800. A study from Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health found village members experienced slower physical decline, lower hospitalization rates, improved quality of life over time. Here's the secret. Purpose. Members don't just receive help, they give it. And purpose protects the brain as powerfully as medication. This model costs a fraction of institutional care and delivers something nursing homes cannot. Belonging. Final moral conclusion. Aging does not require surrender. It does not require warehousing. It does not require losing your voice. The tragedy isn't aging. The tragedy is convincing people they have no choice. You do. Start planning early. Learn the options. Build community before a crisis. Because dignity is not a luxury. It is a medical necessity. Now tell me in the comments. Have you or someone you love explored alternatives to nursing homes? What worked and what didn't? We read every comment. And your story may help someone else survive aging with dignity.